A man does something, it's strategic. A woman does the same thing, it's calculated. A man is allowed to react, a woman can only overreact.
I actually like Mrs. Mahomes much better, if you want to know the truth. She's a big Trump fan. I was not a Taylor Swift fan. It was just a question of time.
Taylor Swift has just taken her political involvement to a new level by endorsing Kamala Harris, a move that has sent waves through both her fan base and the broader public. With over 280 million Instagram followers, Taylor's endorsement has the potential to impact millions of voters, especially among young people. Her endorsement is not just a passive statement, but a full-on praise of Harris' leadership and vision for America, sparking both enthusiasm and backlash. This isn't the first time Taylor has shown her political influence. Known as one of the most prominent voices in pop culture, she has previously mobilized her fan base on issues like LGBT+ rights, voter registration, and more recently, her concerns about AI and misinformation. Taylor's evolution from a music icon to a political figure has taken many by surprise, but her influence remains unmistakable. The latest chapter in this story began when Swift publicly condemned AI-generated images that falsely portrayed her as a Trump supporter. Images circulated online showing Taylor in what seemed to be an endorsement of Donald Trump's presidential run. Taylor took to social media to clarify, expressing her fears over the misuse of AI in spreading misinformation. Recently, I was made aware that AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run was posted to his site, Swift wrote. It really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. Swift's statement highlights her concerns about the ethics of AI technology and the potential consequences of its misuse, drawing attention to the risk it poses to her own brand and reputation. Swift's Swift, pun intended, response to the fake endorsement stirred controversy. Her openness to publicly call out the dangers of AI and the implications it can have on democratic processes reflects her growing political awareness. This incident also illustrates her willingness to defend her public image against forces that could distort her values and influence. Donald Trump, never one to avoid conflict, responded with disdain. He attacked Swift, both for her political choices and her career, predicting that her endorsement of Harris would come at a price. Trump's thinly veiled threat adds an additional layer of tension to the narrative, especially given his history of calling out celebrities who oppose him. In an apparent attempt to downplay Taylor's influence, Trump even took a jab by voicing his preference for another public figure, Brittany Mahomes, who is married to NFL quarterback Patrick Mahomes and a vocal supporter of Trump. Trump went as far as to declare, "I actually like Mrs. Mahomes much better. If you want to know the truth, she's a big Trump fan." The comment underscores his belief that celebrity endorsements are fair game in the political arena, but only if they're in his favor. Perhaps one of the more bizarre twists in this clash occurred on Trump's Truth Social account, where he posted an all-caps message, "I hate Taylor Swiftie." This outburst, while unconventional, suggests Trump is deeply frustrated by Swift's influence and her willingness to challenge him publicly. The feud between Taylor and Trump goes beyond politics. It's a cultural clash, with Swift representing progressive ideals that appeal to a younger, more diverse generation, while Trump's base often embodies more traditional values. This battle over influence is about more than political preferences. It's a symbolic clash between two distinctly different visions for America. Taylor Swift's endorsement of Kamala Harris aligns with her long-standing advocacy for progressive issues and a stable, inclusive political environment. "I think Kamala is a steady-handed, gifted leader," she stated, adding, "and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos." Her words signal a direct rejection of Trump's divisive style, positioning her firmly against what she sees as destructive political tactics. But Trump's team is not letting this endorsement slide without a response. In an unconventional counter-move, his campaign is releasing merchandise styled after Taylor's iconic Eras Tour visuals. This merchandise is a strategic play by Trump's campaign to downplay celebrity endorsements that don't favor him, dismissing them as trivial or inconsequential. By co-opting her image style, Trump's team hopes to dilute the impact of Taylor's endorsement while creating merchandise that resonates with his supporters. Swift's influence over her fan base, particularly younger voters, is well documented. In fact, her previous posts encouraging people to register to vote resulted in a massive surge in voter registration. Just after her Instagram post endorsing Harris, a staggering 406,000 people clicked on her link to register in just 24 hours. This effect was no small spike, but a clear surge in civic engagement, illustrating her reach beyond music and her ability to activate her fan base politically. In 2020, a similar endorsement from Taylor was credited with helping mobilize young voters who turned out in significant numbers for Joe Biden. Political experts acknowledge the potential of Taylor's influence, particularly on younger demographics who may feel disconnected from traditional political messaging. Studies indicate that younger voters have historically low turnout rates, but Taylor's endorsements could help change that trend. She isn't just a musician to her fans, she's a role model who represents a particular set of values. Her endorsement serves as a bridge, encouraging young people to engage in the democratic process. This level of influence is almost unheard of, with few other celebrities capable of motivating such widespread political engagement. Polls show that Taylor's popularity varies across the political spectrum, highlighting the divide in how she's viewed. While 55% of voters overall have a favorable opinion of her, this rises to 68% among Democrats, but drops to 43% among Republicans. Taylor's appeal remains stronger among progressive circles, but her impact could still resonate with swing voters who appreciate her advocacy for fairness, equality, and responsible leadership. The broader question is how this feud will affect the upcoming election. Trump's strategy seems to involve downplaying celebrity endorsements, as though to suggest that popular figures like Taylor may not hold much sway with voters. However, some argue that he's underestimating her power, especially with her highly engaged fan base of Swifties. These fans are not just passive listeners, they're voters, activists, and some of the most active social media users. Swift's supporters, inspired by her endorsement, are increasingly participating in the electoral process, and even a small shift in voter turnout could prove impactful. This phenomenon isn't confined to America's pop culture. It's a sign of the times. Celebrities have increasingly leveraged their platforms to advocate for political change, something that was less common in the past. Taylor Swift's journey from private figure to outspoken advocate mirrors the changing expectations of public figures in today's polarized political climate. With her brand and influence, she has the unique ability to reach across generational divides, influencing not only young voters but also moderate voters who respect her authenticity and advocacy for core values. The question remains, is Taylor Swift's endorsement enough to bring significant change? Some political analysts are skeptical, arguing that while Taylor's endorsement is powerful, it may not translate into actual votes. History shows that young voters have lower turnout rates than other age groups, and whether Taylor's influence can shift this pattern is uncertain. Yet, Swift's record suggests she is capable of mobilizing her fans to act, especially when the stakes are high. Meanwhile, Trump's response illustrates his belief that celebrity endorsements won't decide the outcome, and his strategy is to diminish the weight of Taylor's influence. He may be right, but the power of celebrity in politics is not something to be underestimated. Celebrity endorsements shape narratives, influence public opinion, and bring visibility to issues that might otherwise remain under the radar. Taylor's commitment to endorsing candidates who align with her values, rather than standing on the sidelines, has made her a formidable player in the political arena. Ultimately, this feud isn't just about Taylor Swift or Donald Trump. It's about a larger cultural clash playing out in real time. It highlights how much the landscape has changed, with pop culture and politics becoming increasingly intertwined. Swift's journey from music icon to political influencer is emblematic of the shifts in how we view public figures and their roles in society. The influence Taylor Swift wields in this arena could be groundbreaking. With her platform and engaged fan base, she has the potential to impact voting patterns, particularly among younger generations. However, whether her influence can sway voters remains to be seen. Trump's dismissiveness may reflect confidence, but Swift's political engagement has already demonstrated its effectiveness, potentially signaling a new era of political activism from pop culture icons. The stakes are high, and both sides of the political spectrum are closely watching Swift's next moves. The real question is whether Taylor Swift's endorsement power is as formidable as it appears, or if Trump's strategy of dismissing her will ultimately prove correct. Only time will tell how this clash of cultural titans will influence the political landscape, but one thing is clear: Taylor Swift is not just a pop star anymore. She's a political force to be reckoned with.